welcome to tonight's edition of Bitcoin Wednesday. A little bit late today. I apologize. I'm running late, picking up kids and doing all those things that moms and dads do, So let me welcome to the show the one, the only, Vance McKim. How we doing tonight, brother?
Good.
I was just trying to hurry and pull this up and see if I can. I think the fastest way to get it off the edit the privacy is right from my phone than trying to do it on the computer. So that is now open to the public. And if you want to go ahead and share that, that would be great.
So Mr.
Vance. Mr. Vance. Oh, it's been quite a week, dude.
Yeah, as.
Quite a week. I don't even know where to start. So,
the good or the bad or the in between. It's like you never know.
Yeah. Let's do the basic thing here. I'm going to let you, while you're sharing that, I'm going to pull up the market cap. We'll run through a couple of numbers real quick, and then we'll get into the juicy stuff.
All right.
And at least in our journey through cryptocurrency, it is juicy. So, okay. So, been quite a week. Let's see. The market cap last week was $334 billion. Today, if it'll pull up,
it's 323.
323. Okay.
Yeah.
How low did it get? Did you just notice it all?
I saw it like down to 310 almost. It was like 312 or something like that when I saw it. That was the lowest I saw.
That's what I was thinking. It was a few days ago. It was pretty low, pretty dang low. A lot of things going on. I don't know what's causing it. I just don't know. Bitcoin dominance is up to 38.9%. So that's not up very much. Last week it was 38.2. And Bitcoin got down to, I thought it was going to hit the 6,000.
I did too. I thought we were going to hit the 6,000 mark. Yeah.
Really did. But it maintained and came back up. It's at 73.61 right now. So yeah, I really thought it was going to hit into the 6,000s. And I thought Ethereum got down to the low 500s. I thought they might have even bounced, into the 400s, but something stopped and started rebounding the market a little bit. So that's good. That's good, right?
Yeah, I think. I think a lot of it just it's kind of gone sideways a little bit now, last couple of days, but that's fine.
Yeah,
at least it stopped going down.
Yeah, Ripple went down to 55 or so. It's at 60. I know Litecoin went down to like 110, and it's at 117.
Yeah.
Cardano was at like 16, 17 cents. It's back to 20.
Yeah.
Stellar or IOTA, I'm not quite sure how low it got, but it's still pretty low right now at $1.58.
Yeah, it is. I don't know I never really watched IOTA to see where it got. I did kind of kept an eye on Tron a little bit. It's been sitting at like 6.5 cents. It's like 6.3 cents now. That's basically where it's been. It stayed there.
Oh, I'm totally missing a couple I'm like, where are some of these coins, man? I'm missing like EOS and stuff. Well, that's because they obviously must be a token, and I clicked on coins only.
Yeah. Gotta go all cryptocurrencies.
Let me straighten. I must have hit the wrong button.
All right, refresh.
So I'm like EOS is gone. Where is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, EOS.
So EOS is up a little bit. Yeah, it was. Yep. It was down to about 10, wasn't it?
It was. I thought I saw it 11. I don't know.
I definitely saw it 11. I definitely saw it 11.
Yeah, I saw it 11 too. But everything's still kind of red today. I mean, we kind of came back up a little bit off our dip. It just bounced. We've bounced like twice basically since this little rundown.
Yeah.
Is really where. But
Tether,
yeah, it looks like we got
Tether's down.
No, down to 99 cents.
99 cents.
Yeah.
If only I owned everything of Tether, I'd be happy. If I sold it in January, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I sold it in January.
Neo went down. It was $49 or so, but it's back up a little bit to 51. So everything was down, and it's gone up a little bit, and then it's down in the last 24 hours.
Yeah,
and
if you go through the
minor percentages, 3%,
right,
2%.
If you go through the top 100, there's a few oddballs that are out, like Golem is up 13% today. But if you go back and look at their chart, they've steadily been on an increase, even while this stuff's been down. So whatever's going on there, I don't know.
Well, I was,
but they just don't have a lot of circulating supply either. So stuff that's got really low circulating supply and you see it bounce 20% can easily be manipulated.
Sure. I was watching one of McAfee's things, and he's got some. I think that I saw in there some coins that they were promoting or that they felt good about. I think it was McAfee or someone else. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And Golem was one of them. And Golem is like the supercomputer type thing, I believe, almost like Sciacoin, which is right below it.
Yeah, which didn't move up. Yeah, but
didn't move up yet.
Well, that's the thing. You buy on the rumor, and what do we say?
Sell the news.
Sell the news. So, but yeah, there's another one I've kind of been watching too. It's down a little bit lower on the list, but it's called Theta Token. It's up 30% today. But I actually went back and looked. They're basically back to where they were in January.
What number on the list? What number on the list are they?
Let me go back here. But again, they don't have a large circulating supply. They are 82.
Okay.
And I don't know much about them, but I've been watching them the last couple of days just because they keep having these record percentages going up, and I don't know what's causing that. Yeah.
Look at that 7-day graph.
Yeah, it just keeps going up. But if you pull up and look at their total, they came out the end of last year, and their peak in January is basically where we're at right now. That's so they took a big dip, and then they're on their way back.
Rebounded already.
Yeah. So what they're into or what's promoting them, I don't know. But they're a big one. I seem that their numbers are really high lately.
Yeah, that's the last 7 days have been very good for them. It looks like it's a college sorority or frat or something like that. It's
kind of the way it looks, huh? But they're 20. I know they're 27 cent. They're a 20-cent token.
Yeah. Well, they were. Just a couple of days ago, the 27th, they were at 16 cents, and now they're sitting at 27 cents. So 11-cent gain. That's a lot on a coin in a few days. It's a lot.
Yep. I mean, they were 10 cents April 6th. That's where they were down quite a bit. They bounced that a few times.
Do you have any idea what they do?
I don't. That's why I was trying to pull up their website right now just to kind of see what it was.
There's a lot of diamonds in the rough in there, but sometimes we don't know until they start to pop. Electronium's sitting at 90.
Actually, they're gaming.
Yeah, they've been
they're gaming
jumping up from 900 to up to 90. So
yeah,
that's good. So I believe as far as Electronium goes, I think we hit the block, right? So we've forked off. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have the first, and this is where we're having a little bit of issues right now, just with these blocks taking so long to mine. That first block, I went in and looked at it. I followed Sean for a little bit too on it. And the graph that he pulled up, I thought it was 3.5 hours. It was actually 8 hours it took to mine that first block, and now we're at 10 hours on the second block.
Wow!
So it's taking quite a bit, and there's a reason behind this. I had to do a little bit of research on it. There's a reason behind this. It's because they made the resistance before the fork so high for the ASICs miners. Basically, they were making it so hard for them to mine it that when we converted over, that resistance that was on them, of course, went across to everybody.
I see.
And so now, and what happens? There's actually an algorithm that this works with. It takes about 20 blocks for that algorithm to sit there and keep adjusting. Yeah, to see how that is. So that's where, if you go to the Electronium site right now, if you even go to the Electronium Facebook page, they posted up today, basically saying, when was this? About 4 hours ago, actually. But they're actually doing bonuses right now for the people who are mining with their GPUs. So the mining pools, because they basically, we need to get through these next 20 blocks, and so they're doing bonus rewards for the next 26 blocks for anybody who's mining those blocks. Whoever wins those blocks is basically getting extra bonus. So if it takes you, an hour to get, it takes, let's say your mining pool gets it and it took you 2 hours to do it. Well, they're going to bonus you 150,000 tokens, ETN on top of what you win. So, for a pool, that seems pretty good, I would think, so they want to keep people in it. They don't want people to discouraged, basically, is because this resistance that they were baking in. And basically what it used to be is, this is how it works. ETN, their mining pools, that what they want is or not their pools, but the actual blocks. They want the blocks consistent. So basically they want you to mine or it used to be they would want you to mine a block every minute. So they would adjust the resistance to keep it so that consistently every minute a block was being mined. Well, then with the fork and everything that they're doing, the update, they wanted to move that to 2 minutes. That's why they were saying the blocks were going to get bigger, is because they were going to mine every 2 minutes, not every minute. Well, then and so basically they were slowing down the ASICs miners to hit that 2 minute cap. And then when they switched over, all the ASICs miners went away, and the GPU miners don't mine as quick. So now it's taking forever to get through these first couple of blocks, just because they're and it needs to get back to the 2 minute mark, but they've got to get through these first couple of blocks for the algorithm to catch up. So the first 26 blocks right now are what they're talking about. They're going to bonus you out. So mining pools, keep at it. They're going to bonus you out on this. So keep at it.
The way that's going, that's going to take 13 days, huh?
I know. Well, and the thing is,
it'll adjust after every block, though. You're saying, right?
It just takes more blocks. The more blocks that they get through, the quicker it adjusts. Okay,
right.
So they're saying after 20 to 26, we should be okay. We should be back to where it needs to be. But it's going to slow things down. And of course, anybody who's doing the mobile mining, it's going to slow you down. Because it's slowing the blocks down. So that's basically what's going to happen until we get this picked up. But they did release a statement right before this saying, everybody needs to, well, this was last night they did it, but they were telling everybody with your GPU miners, update your software. They came out with all the new software updates and everything. So that could be it too, that people are just taking longer to update their software.
Well, people had the opportunity to update the software before it even changed, right? And so a lot of people didn't update
that was for exchanges. Yeah, they did that for exchanges and the guys holding the nodes. Okay, so that was what they were talking about, was that stuff. The one that they released yesterday, they announced yesterday and posted up, was basically anybody who wants to run off their computer. Okay. So if you wanted to just to run some mining software on your PC at home, and if you're linked into a mining pool, these are for people that aren't node holders. The mining pool is the node holder. Okay, the guys who own the pool, but if you're just setting your computer up to run, you're going to link it into one of the mining pools. Then they had the software they brought out last night for it, telling everybody to do that. So basically that's what's going on with Electroneum right now. Things are just really slow because why? They had baked in so much resistance on the ASICs guys to keep the blocks at a minute, to 2 minutes, that when it switched over, now we have to adjust.
So they're planning on having the blocks be at like 1 minute or 2 minutes? I can't remember.
2 minutes. They went from 1 minute to 2 minutes. They're trying to enlarge the blocks, basically.
More transactions.
Right, in a block. And of course the cost was a little bit higher now to do transactions and things like that. So they're basically trying to make it so that the price is more stable and it's going to go up. It's really what it's coming down to. The dumping stops. And that's the thing. We still have a sell wall out there, guys. Everybody that dumped has been dumping the last week. There's still a sell wall out there we got to get past. Yeah. Before the price really starts to jump or to move in the right direction.
what is the current transaction speed? Is it like 0.1 electronium?
It's 0.1. It was 0.01.
Right. They changed
The
it to
minimum.
0.1.
It was the minimum because electronium only goes to 2 decimal points on the blockchain. You can still own down to like 8 or 10 decimal points on exchanges and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, as far as the blockchain goes, it's down to 2 decimal points. So they were using the minimum amount possible, which was 0.01, and they've changed that to 0.1 to get rid of the microtransactions.
Now, is that going to with this being the new blockchain and stuff? Will they stick with that 0.1? You believe, or maybe lower it again?
Well, until the price raises. When the price goes up, I'll bet they'll drop it back down.
Right.
You know, because let's say electronium does hit. Yeah, it's going to cost you too much to manipulate it. Is basically what it is. So let's say it hits 50 cents. You know, here hopefully in the near future we get up to that 50-cent range. You know, we got to say it.
The very near future.
Right. But I mean, at 0.1, it's going to cost you 5 cents for every transaction minimum.
Right.
You know, so instead of a half a cent at that rate. So that's really what they're trying to do. And, you know, once, let's say in a few years, hopefully it's a couple of dollars, you know, or something like that, whatever the future holds, because we really don't know right now. But 35. Let's just say, let's say Fugazi at $35 by 2020, right?
I miss Fugazi. Where is the guy? I like his videos.
Come back, give us some crazy McAfee quotes or something. Give us something to go off of, man. Where'd you go?
You know, other than the fact of his $35, you know, I liked his videos. I mean,
or Liam at 500.
I like the guy. Yeah, Liam, where are you?
Come on, Liam. Come throw us some math, bud. Come give us some math telling us it's going to be 500 by the end of the year, bud. We really need that back.
He's in space working on his Meteor ICO BS.
Well, it's not in space, but it's weather balloons that give you satellite or give you internet service or something like that. Cell service. I don't remember, something like that. But I was like, okay, whatever.
Let's slap an ICO on the end of the name and get some money.
Yeah.
Which really brings us into our next conversation, I think, right?
You want to talk about
the T-bar ICO scam?
Yeah, and that's still ongoing. We'll find out a lot more because there's actually stuff coming out right now tonight. Just with the dev guys that are online talking about it because we just don't know. there's still so much that we don't know of what's been going on in the back of this. But he was even
So stop for a second. So let's start. Yeah,
go ahead.
You know, in case you don't know what's going on, Vance and I have invested, you know, not very much into a coin called. Well, you didn't invest anything, did you? You got all yours from referrals, didn't you?
I did mine. I did referrals. I got a bunch of referrals off of it. So by that time, I didn't invest anything just because I had a decent amount coming off the referrals. So I left it.
And I invested a little bit in the ICO, just like I think it was $100, so it wasn't a big deal or whatever.
Yeah,
because I really missed out on the opportunity. I was going to put $10,000 in because that's when the prices of everything were high, and I'm thinking this is a great ICO. I mean, he had all the different relationships with Disney and the U.S. government.
Yeah, he had government contracts. He'd been working with Microsoft.
Dun and Bradstreet. He was BBB accredited. I mean, it was the whole works, and I was pretty excited about it. I mean, it sounds like an awesome. I still think is a great thing, but he always seemed a little bit shady. So I missed the opportunity. I even had $5,000 I was gonna put into it the day of, and I missed the opportunity, which thank goodness I did. But
yeah,
so later on the price came down, and it ended up going like 70, 60 cents, something like that. And so I bought a few thousand of these bars. Well, it turns out the day that I bought them was the same day that they supposedly got hacked and all their tokens were stolen. So the gist of that was they ended up transferring or doing a hard fork and creating a new coin called T-bar instead of bar. And we waited forever to even get reimbursed our T-bar tokens.
Mm-hmm.
and we end up getting
And
the
there's
ones that
people
we
that
got
still
from the
didn't.
ICO, and I got about half of them from Hit BTC, and I still owed more. And I've been going over that with them this week, and then everything that happened today, or yesterday, a couple days ago. So the gist of it is there was I don't even know how to say it. I don't know if it's if they were indicted or the SEC basically seized control of Titanium Infrastructure Services. They have a lawsuit named against Titanium and Michael Stolero, whatever the hell his name
Whatever
is.
his name is today.
Apparently, he's got several aliases, and it turns out this guy was basically sounds like he's a scam artist.
Yep.
He preyed, and what made me mad is he really preyed upon the Electroneum community. He got in with Electroneum a little bit, want to be an advisor. I don't know who stuck their head out on that one. Hopefully, Electroneum will put out a statement on that at some point. But he took advantage of Electroneum having a very successful ICO with a huge community of members, and he took advantage of us and got us to invest in it.
Yeah, and it's not even that he took advantage of us; he took advantage of Electroneum too. So
that's what I mean. The electronic community, and yes,
it's not. Yeah, and the company.
Took advantage of Electroneum being a very successful ICO.
Right, and supposedly, because of the service because he was supposed to be a utility token, right. For basically internet service that was guaranteed 99% up. He was supposed to, obliterate Amazon, all this, their hosting services and all this, which now Amazon's really coming back off of and getting a lot of business. But basically, I mean, it's working out for them just great. But the fact is, and this is still to be verified. I just want to say this is still to be verified. But supposedly, Ells did pay him, or give him ETN to start working on the servicing for the Electroneum blockchain. Okay, so whether that's not true or not, I don't know. It's come up on a few forums I've seen that he was actually paid with Electroneum, and so he got away with a couple $1 million in Electroneum, like $8 to $10 million in Electroneum, something along that lines.
Seriously,
yeah. So this is still to be verified. Like I'm saying, this has been what's happened in a few discussions in the forums I've been seeing that basically he scammed Ells out of Electroneum to do this as well. Not only
if you
we're saying the 21 million that he took,
that's a lot of Electroneum.
It is. So that's why I was kind of hoping to see that there's some type of, I don't know, just a press release or something, that from Electroneum. I'd just like to hear something just to say, you know what, we're all right. He never got us. That's kind of just rumor or whatever. And that's why I'm saying this hasn't been verified. This is what statements have come up saying that he was paid in Electroneum by the ETN team, basically to start service for them and ran off with it. Okay. And that's not including the 21 million supposedly the SEC has seized and his condo in Florida that he bought with the money that was invested into Titanium. So so I think there's going to be a lot more to come out here soon.
I could see it maybe being 8 million ETN, but
maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not reading it right.
$8 million of ETN is a lot of ETN.
It is. It definitely that is a lot. Because what did they make off the? What did we make off the ICO? What did Electroneum make off the ICO? Was it
40 million?
So 40 million. But they said it now today it's worth 80 because at a cent.
Cents, yeah.
So I could understand that a lot. And depending on what the price was back when did they bring Stellar in? Was like January? It was the end of last year. Coming into January, right? Yeah. So that would have been the peak when Electroneum was worth 20 cents.
Yeah.
Before it started coming down. So, or even, I mean, it would have been the teens. So you're probably looking mid-teens. If they were paying him out on something, it would have been in the mid-teens. So that would, even if they paid him $8 million in coin, or not $8 million, but 8 million coin. If he could have turned around and sold it at that point in time just to cash it out, to take it, boy, he made off.
Oh yeah.
So there's, and that's what I'm saying. There's still a lot that's going to come out. I know the devs involved were basically kept in a sub company. They weren't actually hired by Titanium. They were hired through a development company to work for Titanium. They never got paid. They were completely in the dark from Stellar as well. So I think we're going to find out a lot more coming up in the future, because he did keep his part of the company very separate from anybody that was working for him. So don't lash out against the dev guys and everybody that was working for him, because they're screwed just like you.
Yeah, I got the feeling that even a lot of the head people didn't even know what was going on. So
supposedly their COO or something like that was completely in the dark on it as well. But they were and from what I've been told, it's the dev guys that actually reported Stellar to the SEC after the supposedly breach, the hack
of the bar.
Yeah, of bar before they went to T-Bar, because they said they didn't get hacked, but it was something they're saying was internal and and all this stuff. So that's where the SEC started investigating, was back then, guys. I mean, that's how long ago this has been into effect. So, but I think they were just trying to build a case, and we'll find out more once it comes out. So,
I listened to Dr. Reef for a little bit and stuff, and it's like the company's got 3 hard wallets, and they all got hacked. I mean, that's just unbelievable. But then I hear that they never did actually. He said he reported the crime to the Los Angeles County Sheriff or whatever, or police. I don't know what it was. And it comes to find out that he did not report it to anyone. Well, that's why people kept saying, "Hey, let's see a police report. Show us a picture of the police report."
Yeah,
there was nothing ever filed.
And even then, where has he been the last couple of months?
Living high on the hog, I think.
Yeah, out in Hawaii in his new condo, man. I mean, that's seriously what we're going to find out here.
Well, I'm curious where he is now. I mean,
have they arrested him? What do they put? Who knows, man?
The way it looks to me is, they've got, like, he should have been arrested.
Yeah, but you understand, we're only 2 days. Yeah, we're only 2 days into this.
Yeah, but the fact that we already have court documents and everything filed is, I don't know.
But I mean, the actual articles that we finally have out came out on Monday during the holiday. It's only been 2 days.
Right.
So, yeah, this is still something that's fairly new, that I'm sure we'll hear a lot more upon in the future weeks here. So the upcoming weeks, but I mean, goes to show, I mean, you can try and vet these ICOs that are out, and the thing is, this is back when ICOs weren't running rampant like they are now.
Right.
This was just last fall, where ICOs were still kind of a solid investment when you were looking at them. I mean, you could really find out a lot about them. Now it's just crazy. I mean, they're everywhere and anybody doing anything. But I mean, this was one of those that we thought was properly vetted, that, even the big guys out there that are trying to change the landscape for crypto got taken in on. So, I mean, that's,
Sean Davis,
goes to show.
There's plenty
of them
that
to show. You got to be careful,
Yeah, I think it's a good lesson for people to make sure you do as much research as you can. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, I think diversifying, because if you had everything in this project, it's gone.
Yeah. And being on the forums today, like the Titanium community, I mean, there's guys in there that said they blew $5,000.
Oh yeah. And more. I've seen some that,
4,500, $5,000, there's a lot of people in there that I spent a lot into this, and now I'm not going to get it back. So,
yep. And I'm the same way. I mean, luckily I feel like I was playing with the house money, because I sold Verge at 10 cents and I bought it at half a penny. So,
yeah.
But that's all my Verge. That's all my profits gone. So I guess now when I have a loss on my taxes, that might be a good thing, right?
Sure, if you're going to file that, sure.
Since we're going to make so much with Electroneum. And yes, of course I file my taxes. Why wouldn't I file my taxes? Why would you even ask me this on air? Jeez. My name is Joe Scapoli. I file my taxes.
That's an amount that you can take a loss on anyway. So, it really depends on what you're going to, on how the end of the year looks. That's really what's going to come to us. What's the end of the year going to look like for us?
Yep. And that's all that matters at this point, because it's hard looking at it day to day, because it's just that time of year, and it was the same last year. It wasn't quite as bad this long, but when did we get, Bitcoin had got up to $5,000 or $6,000, and then it dropped down to 3,500. That was August or so, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, it could be, but the fall tends to pick up, and that's what we're getting ready for. So,
yeah, but as long as you're holding, you're fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Just hold. You'll be good. Unless you're T-bar, yeah. But who knows? The dev guys do want T-bar back. So they're talking about how they would like to be able to take control over T-bar and get it back running to what it's supposed to be.
The concept is great.
Yeah,
I love the concept. He came out with that minimum viable product, which was stupid, bogus. Yeah. I mean, that little video clip was, what is this? It was a joke. And so I just want to take the little guy and just strangle him.
Oh, don't worry. He's got karma coming once he gets to jail.
He's got karma coming for sure.
Yeah.
So just be careful out there, people. It's still the wild, wild west for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So vet your ICOs that you're looking at really good. Really good. So
and be careful. Yeah, be careful with the ICOs. I mean, some stuff looks so good, and then, this titanium looked fantastic. I mean, those companies that he supposedly had relationships were. Oh
yeah,
and then we find out that he had gotten cease and desist letters from a bunch of these companies, and never shared that with any of the team or anything, and then never did anything about it either. So
he's kept it to himself.
It's too bad we didn't hear some of this stuff before the ICO was actually going. So
yeah,
and I'll bet he took a lot of that titanium. Titanium got up to $4 or so, $4 or $5. He was probably
before the hack.
Selling that stuff like crazy.
Yeah,
he probably made more money than me.
But yeah, just be careful out there, guys. I mean, that's it's a big thing right now. Be careful, and that's why I'm not condoning, like with Electroneum. We had the Electron Narrow fork that happened yesterday on the 29th. Before
Did
this,
it actually happen?
It happened yesterday. From what I can tell, there's about 8,000 followers that went in on that. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. But definitely, ETNX is what it is. I mean, they're basically just jumping on the coattails of ETN to try and get some coin out there and make some money. So I could easily see this going the same way as titanium, very easily. Just we're going to make a coin and branch off somebody else so that we can make basically something out of nothing.
And they took people from the ETN community that thought, that's who they're getting.
No, that's exactly what it is.
They're using ETN's successful launch to steal from them.
Hey, I'd like to hear anybody out there who did this. I'd like to hear about it. How did it go? Did you get your ETNX? Did you do the right thing by using the paper wallet and getting your coin out of it before you did the key transfer and all that other good stuff? Because you had to give up your privacy keys on one of those wallets to do this. So that's what just freaked me out. I'm like, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's just me. But supposedly there's about 8,000 followers out there supposedly that did this. So I kind of would like to hear what happens. Who knows? Maybe we'll see it in the news anyway. But I'd like to see did everybody get their ETNX? How did that work out? And what do you guys think? But yeah, that's one I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, and I don't condone those guys at all. I mean, even Ells came out and said we are not associated with them. So unfortunately, They are duping people by saying it's a fork, and it's not a fork.
Yeah, it's not even on the same blockchain at all.
No, it's
In fact,
not.
we got our own blockchain now.
It's back on the, well, actually, supposedly it's supposed to be their branch off of a Monero blockchain. So yeah, so it's supposed to be different. It's not really a fork at all. You're just proving that you have a certain amount of ETN, and they'll give you ETNX off of it. But I know it's because they're holding so much of it in the background. And by the way, if you go to the website and look up their percentages on their numbers, they don't make sense. They flat out do not make sense. Yeah, their numbers, what they're spouting, do not make sense. So hopefully anybody who did look at that did the right way and protected themselves by getting their coin out of their paper wallets before giving up their
privacy
security,
keys.
Privacy keys and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens, because I think these guys did the same thing. Keys. Yeah, they were going to see how many people would jump in and take ETNX and get on the same exchanges that ETN is, and then sell off what the company owns. Because all ICOs, the company keeps a percentage, like 40%.
Right.
And then 60% go out to the investors. So they keep a larger, actually it's even larger, because you don't want the 51% hack to happen. So it's even larger than that. So let's say they get, a million coin out there, because it's going to be a low circulating supply, try and run up the price on it, and then dump. And everybody's screwed because they thought they were getting something for nothing on one of these forks. And it was just a way for these guys, these developer guys who didn't develop anything, to make some money.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. So
if you guys have extra money laying around, there's a bridge that Vance and I want to build over from here to Mexico.
That's right.
We want to get over the top of that wall. So send your money, send your private keys. We will get you going on that.
Jeez.
Be smart, people. Don't give out your private keys. You're just asking to lose everything you got. Yep. That's the only thing. Yep. That's the only thing keeping your coins safe, or your private keys. So don't be duped into it. Your grandson's not in jail in a Tijuana, Mexico, or jail or whatever, or dying in the hospital. You don't have to send money. You don't have to give out private keys.
There's not a prince over in Africa somewhere that wants to give you $50 million. So yeah.
Yeah. Geez.
But yeah. So just be careful.
It could happen. It could happen. We can't, it could happen. It just hasn't happened to me.
Yeah, that's right. It just hasn't happened to me either. But and then I did I did post up about an hour ago into the Electronia Millionaires Club forum. Just a link. There's actually a online gambling site that came out, online gaming site called luckygames.io, who is actually taking Electronium.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they've got a number of coins that they're accepting on there. I think it's kind of interesting. They've only got 5 games out there. They've got like roulette and dice and like the Keno balls and stuff like that, and a few other 2 other things called Cells and Hacker that I don't know. But it seems like everybody on there right now is doing the dice game, and I don't know. I mean, try it out. I guess if that's what you like to do, go try it out and see what you think. But there's
it called
quite
again?
a few.
What's it called?
It's called luckygames.io. And if you're, I put the link up right before we started this about an hour ago into the Electronia Millionaires Club group. So there is a link there to it. You can go check it out. It seems like it's very easy to go in and sign up and do this. I played with it for about 5 minutes before getting on here. So,
but yeah, got a sample that you can play some games or something right now.
Well, if you go onto their page, it kind of shows you how it looks, and if you go click on the dice thing, it just kind of shows you what it looks like in the back. It's like 1 through 100, like numbers 1 through 100, and you can sit there and click the different ratios that you want. So if you wanted to say, I'll take that the dice are going to roll a number under 50, and I don't know how many sided die this is, but let's just say I roll a number under 50. You're playing that 50-50 ratio. Basically, you make your money back. I mean, you make 100% back. So,
all right, I'm gonna roll under.
They do 50. Have roulette, yeah. So they do have roulette, and it looks like I think it's the Kino ball is what that other one is, and then the other two I haven't really looked at that much. But seems to be it shows how many people are playing on what, and it seems to be that everybody's on the dice. I've seen a few. I saw some guys on YouTube that threw it up. That's how I found out about it, and had just gone in and put like 500 ETN in there, and we're just screwing around with the dice, and we're making a little bit back. And they put it in, took it out, and it seemed to be really quick and really easy. To do.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah, but this came out last week. This is before the blockchain update. So right now your in and out would be kind of slow just because of how long it's taken to do the blockchain. But I mean, last week I think it was the 25th when this came out, or 25th when I saw the review on it.
They've got 28 billion.
So that was last Friday.
28 billion bets already. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of people playing and doing it.
Yeah, there's a couple thousand on there right now playing. So,
it's got the countdown or count clock up, whatever.
Right.
28
if you click on
bets
games
have been made.
Right. So go over and click on the little dice on the side where it says games.
On
the left side, click that, and it shows how many users are in each game playing.
Okay. Cool. Interesting. Well, everything that uses Electroneum is good.
You froze on me.
I froze on you? Oh, I got to turn off the stupid game. Oh, crap. My back? My back? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I should be unfrozen now. Maybe Vance froze on me. I do look like my screen is a little bit fuzzy. Did I get hacked? Am I hacked? Am I hacked? Here comes Vance. Here he comes.
I jumped back up. I jumped off. No, it's because I think your computer, your internet's running slow enough. You can't do two things at once.
I did that game thing, and it was trying to load up and stuff, and
it just froze you up. So anyway, don't do it when you're trying to do live broadcast. Basically,
so we need Electroneum to go way high so we can get really fast internet, really fast computers, broadcast studio,
your Google internet
for the world famous Bitcoin Wednesday show.
That's right.
On a Thursday.
Some decent equipment, yeah.
Oh man, crazy week. So things are starting to look up a little bit, I think, hopefully, and I hope it doesn't keep going down. You know, it seemed like it's starting to bounce up again a little bit, but
yeah,
that's the world of crypto.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit going on. We mentioned last week that the SEC is looking into manipulating Bitcoin and just the crypto markets and stuff like that right now. So I think some of that might have scared some people away in the last week because that was something that happened last week that was announced. Right. So I think that's what scared a little people out. That's why we dropped down on the market cap. How much did we drop in the last week? What were we last week?
Last week we were 334, so we only dropped 11 billion.
Yeah. We were down lower though. I mean, we
389 and 435. Yeah. So we've dropped a lot in the last month.
Yeah, we have
100 billion in the last month.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still have very high hopes that by the end of this year we're going to be we're going to make new records.
Yeah, I agree.
This year.
And that's just how the game's played. You can't.
That's what happened last year.
There's so many people that have just tried to hop in and hurry, make a quick buck, and it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to tell you the truth,
money, but
yeah, and that's the thing. We're talking about Q3, Q4 this year. That the stock exchanges, will be releasing their crypto exchanges.
Yeah,
so we've got 4 of those that are coming out. You've got the Boston Exchange, Chicago, New York Stock Exchange, and one other one I don't remember. But there's 4 stock exchanges that have announced that they're coming out with crypto exchanges by the end of this year. So some in Q3, some Q4. So I expect there's going to be a huge influx of money. That's why people are saying 2018 is going to be the year you wanted to be in. when that stock market money starts coming over. We're going to be over $1 trillion easy. We're supposed to be in the trillions at that point in time. So
ask yourself, why are they coming in with exchanges? Why are they doing it?
Well, look at where the stock exchange sits right now.
Come in. They want to make money, and that's how they're going to make a lot of money. So there could be a lot of manipulation going on right now by a lot of different big time money places.
These big money holders.
So they can get the price down and get their share of it, and then have it go up. So,
but the one positive thing that I really read into a lot of this last week and the week before, talking about the stock exchanges coming out, was that they were going, at least, and there was a big article on the Boston Stock Exchange talking about this, that they are going to be setting up, and they've already made some deals with this. They're setting up basically a network and a platform for companies to create coins instead of stocks. So basically, if to do an IPO, instead of doing an IPO, they would have the ability to do an ICO for their company, whether that's a utility. It'd still have to fall in with the SEC. So whether that's going to be a utility, it's not really going to be privacy per se anymore, but at least not in the US. But it would be more along the lines of like the utility coins coming out.
Not nearly as many hoops and stuff to go through as it is to do an IPO.
Right.
It's a lot less complicated than an ICO.
Right. So quick way for companies to be able to raise money, have investors, backers, all this stuff. And to tell you the truth, it's to move with the technology.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
blockchain.
Really, who wants to sit there and look at stocks all day long? No one wants to. I mean, and how many people do it? It's all computer. It's all computer traded most of the time now anyway. I mean, stock exchange, if you have an investment banker or investment banker, but you've got someone who's got their Series 7 that's a stockbroker and all that. You think it's them sitting in front of there watching all day long? I guarantee it isn't. It's a computer doing it for them. And they've all got their proprietary. Yeah, I guarantee they've all got their proprietary software that they're running off in the background to do the trades for you, or they're not trading at all. At least like right now, the stock being so low, they're just trying to find more people to buy back in so they can get their money back. That's what they're doing. So, I mean, I think there's going to be a huge potential coming in the fall, because it's not going to be people that are hedging against Bitcoin anymore. It's going to be people being able to invest their IRAs, their portfolios, things like that into crypto to offset the losses they're taking in stocks. So, I mean, there's a whole other world out there that hasn't even opened up yet. And I'm sure we have no clue.
Oh yeah, I agree.
We have no clue. So I just know that there's going to be a lot coming in, and there's going to be a huge transfer of wealth. So those of us that are in there, we've got some coins we're holding. This is where we need to be. Buy now. Buy while it's low. This is buyer's paradise right now.
HODL. I just put HODL on the screen. Yeah. Hold on for dear life, right?
So
I agree. Buy if the prices are low, buy a little bit here or there. It's not going to hurt you. Don't put any more than you can afford to lose. But I think it's good to get in and own a little bit and learn how to do it, because it's going to be the future.
Right. And for newbies coming in, that's fine. For beginners coming in, if you're not sure, which one should I buy? I'll tell you right now, top 10.
Top 10. I agree.
Top 10. That's your safe bet. These are the big wigs. These are the guys that are playing real ball in the crypto universe, are top 10. So that's where you're safe. I mean, even heck, looking at you're almost top 20, but I would say top 15, because Dash is 14. I would hold Dash. So Monero.
Well, if you look at
Tether,
things too,
by the way, you don't want to hold Tether. So
that's
Tether's 12. You can skip that.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, you buy it at 99 cents, more than likely it's going to go up to at least $1.01 at some point.
Right. So anyway, but I mean, if you go down and look, there's the big guys in there. I'll tell you, the top 10, top 15. Brian and I have both said that we, have held others down that list. So if you want to go down and look at it, there's some that we like Lisk. We've talked about Steam. Verge was on our list for a long time. They just kind of went through some issues. We'll see what happens with them. But Scicoin 88. Well, 88 is already in the top 10. Electronium's 90 right now, and I will tell you that number doesn't matter.
Nope.
For them. Number 90 has no inclination. I mean, has no factor on the fact where Electronium is going to go, because they're paving their own way. And I'll tell you right now, Token Pay is another one that's on there. I am completely behind right now. I don't even know where they're listed, if they're even on this. I mean, they show up
in the 100 something range, probably. Just a quick note, though. I mean, the market cap today is at 323 billion right now. The top 5 coins are 225 billion of that.
Right.
So
money coming into the market goes into those 5 coins.
Yep. And you're going to see those coins all do well. The top 10 even, I mean, because you're still, even after 5, you got Litecoin at 6 billion, Cardano 5 billion. You still got some good coins in there. But just the top 5 have almost all of the market share. So
and that's why we talk about the Bitcoin dominance. We don't like it being high. We like it low, because that means money's moving out of Bitcoin into the altcoins. That's being diversified. It's being invested, basically, in other projects. So we like to see that, because Bitcoin's not a project.
Just a store of wealth. I mean, it's
store
of value.
They're calling it a security. So we'll see.
It's the gold standard, basically, of crypto.
Yeah, it's the first. Yep. So that's what we have to compare against, because why? It's only been out 10 years. 10 years. It's been out 9 years.
Yeah. So
that's how new this game is. That's how crazy this is. I mean, think about it. What was the stock market like when it was 9 years old? Who knew? I mean, you're buying less than penny stocks at that point in time. I mean, who knew what it was like back then? I mean, because none of us were around back there. But I mean, that's just, we have no clue. So as long as you're just holding right now, I mean, in the next 5-10 years, I mean, your kids are set. As long as you're in. As long as you're in to hold and win, I mean,
just keep collecting crypto. Buy a little bit here, a little there.
Yeah. Just be careful on. I would say just be careful on ICOs right now. But if you're new coming in and not really sure where to look and what to research and all that stuff, look at your top 10, your top 15 in here. These are the big guys. These are the ones that are making deals. They're the ones that are setting the standard for what crypto will be in the future. These are the guys that have the banks backing them. That's what you want. So,
I mean, you can go all the way down to 22. All those companies are billion-dollar companies. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. So, just research and see what you like and see what you agree with and what fits into what you think would be good. So, very cool.
So, but that's about it for me tonight.
I think that's about it for me too. I'm tired. I need to go to bed.
Yeah. Those of us that work days.
Electronic at 2 cents. So I'm working too hard every day.
Yeah, I know. Once it jumps up a little bit.
I used to put out videos in the other club, and I was like, come on, I'm going to my job, but I'm so tired. Electronium's only at 10 cents. What is going on with it? It was just at 12.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish it was at 10 again.
I know. I'd be so happy if it was at 10 again.
Those were good days. I still just think of driving to work and making those videos in the morning, just being funny, but thinking, look back at that now, and man, I wish it was at 10 cents or 12 cents again.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, back then everybody was making videos though. Now you don't see now you don't see anybody anymore. There's a few of us out there making videos on this stuff now. I mean, but yeah, as soon as there's an upturn,
there'll be tons of videos on YouTube.
Yeah, there'll be plenty more followers coming in. So
predictions like crazy. Got any predictions today?
No, my big prediction is I think by the end of June, because we're coming into June in 2 days, by the end of June, we'll see some good hikes. I really do believe that. And I'm talking more on electronic, but I think the whole market. I really do think the whole market will see some good hikes by the end of June, just because there's a lot of new business coming in. And that's usually where we'll start to see the hikes. At least in the past, you go back past years, there's always been some decent movement in June, July, the summer months and stuff. So I think we'll see some good stuff. With Ells going to his conference in New York, was that 2 weeks? The 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that. He'll be out there speaking, and these are they've been invited to go out there and speak. And these are kind of the who's who again of crypto going out there and having a big convention. So, I mean, I think he'll be pulling in a lot of audiences because he's a big enough name now that they're inviting him out to these things. So that's good for Electronium. Plus they're going to be sampling off their instant payment system. Come up here in a week. I think that'll inject some good, money and positivity back into the coin as well. So,
hopefully the blockchain, is getting straightened out by about that time as well.
Right. Because we got these next 26 blocks to get through before things start speeding up a little bit, and we've got the sell wall. We've still got the sell wall of what everybody dumped. I mean, that changed today. There's no more coin going into the sell wall. That's kind of the nice thing. And if there is, it's just trickling in because it's what people are mining out their phones, which isn't enough.
Not very much. Sure.
And that was kind of that little gambling site was kind of one of those things where they talked about this is a good place to take that 10 coin that you just made off of your phone running today and dump it in and try and double it real quick. I mean, that's I thought that was kind of funny when they brought that up, but
put it on red. Oh, you lost.
Oh, you lost. Yeah. Sorry. You hit green.
I was just going to say something other than black.
Hit zero. Yeah. It hit zero.
Yeah. But, double zero every time.
Every time. So I think that we're going to see some good stuff in June. I really do. We finally got out of this kind of hole that we've been dug into for a while, whether it was based off the ASICs miners or whatever that's been going on, or just the market in general. But I think we're going to see some coins jump out of this. I really do think Token Pay will be one of those. I really do think Electronium will be one of those, and they're really going to jump head and heel beyond everybody else.
Yeah, I agree.
So they just got some really good deals in place, and they've got a lot of backing that their marketing is going to start capitalizing on, and it's just going to move.
They haven't even marketed yet, so that's a big key. So, and they're a marketing firm, so we should look for good things there. I guess my only prediction would be that Michael Stoller is going to prison.
Yeah, just don't drop the soap. So
unfortunately for us, it will be a white collar prison.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. He'll be out there playing tennis.
Yeah, but he should still go to prison. And
we'll see what happens. But I really hope that the guys, those of you that really did invest some decent money in that, I hope there's some way to recoup this, whether it's the funds, and everything, the SEC or whoever it is, that the FBI, they're able to recoup back off of this, sell of his condo out in Florida or Hawaii, and stuff like that. I mean, whether they can get some of this, I just know that there was a lot of money put into this. I don't know how much we're going to be able to get back and who will get it back. I mean, is it just people that are holding, investing, how that's going to work? I don't know.
Well, here's what I'd have to say on that, Vance. And just because I'm aware with some of the way this works a little bit, but it went into receivership. And the only one that gets any money out of that ends up being the attorneys. They will bill for hours and hours and hours and hours of trying to sell assets and things like that for pennies on the dollar. And the only one that wins is the receiver. So if you own token coins, unless they're able to get developers to start it back up or do something like that where it could be a viable product, you ain't getting any money back. Yeah. So I wouldn't even count on it at this point. But my coins are basically worthless, but I'm holding on to my T-bar and my bars just because one day you never know, right?
True. So
I'll just keep them, and but I am not expecting anything. The receiverships. The federal or the state governments and stuff that put these things in receiverships. I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen for investors, because the investors are the last ones to get any money back. the attorneys will eat every little bit of profit that is in the company.
They'll nickel and dime for it,
which is unfortunate because they will spend hours. It's like, I hate to compare it to this Mueller investigation on President Trump or whatever, but it's very similar. Mueller is going and going and going and going and going, whether there's anything there or not, because they're billing hours like crazy.
Yeah,
they make a fortune billing hours, and so that's what receivers do. That's why they're in the business of being receiverships. So it's unfortunate. I don't expect anybody to get their money back. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens. But whatever the market does, and maybe we can get something back out of it just off of, dev team trying to actually come up and reboot their physical, their actual services, their server services. So
yeah,
and that's what they're talking about. That's one of the things they're talking about doing is basically trying to recode a lot of what Ells, the stuff that was his side of everything, that basically they would take that out, re-landscape it.
Stellar, you mean Stellar?
What's that? Stellar. Yeah. Sorry. Now there's two Michaels. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to get that confused, guys. But yeah, so basically, they want to try and revamp it, get it back out, and get people some net worth back out of these coins again. So,
yeah. And that would be the best. That would be the best.
Yeah, they have publicly stated that they want to do that. So, but it's just whether or not they can. They're allowed to do it, really. That's what it comes back down to. So they can get control enough to do it.
Right. So, okay. Very good. Thanks for joining, buddy.
All right, guys.
Good to see you. We'll see you all next week.
Yep.
Next Wednesday at 9:00 Mountain Standard Time.
So,
for Vance, I'm Brian. Good night.
Later.
We love you. See you, man.